awesome! I'm Ava J and this is Bookish Pixie. So this week is my first week of my final year in college. Woo! Or last week, since I filmed these a week in advance, but you get the idea. So even though this is my senior year of college, it's actually my 5th year of college, so basically I've done the writing and juggling thing a lot. So I thought it'd be fun to do a vlog on how to juggle writing with school. Now I'm aware that not all of your viewers are still in school, so these tips can also apply to juggling your writing with your work with slightly different applications. So here we go. First, you need time to adjust. This means when you start your first week of your new semester or your new job, you can pretty much assume that you're not going to get a lot of writing done. It's okay. Give yourself a free pass this week. Adjusting to a completely new schedule is hard and exhausting. You need to give yourself a little leeway here because when you start something new, it is just really tiring to get used to your new schedule, and you are going to find times when you come home and you're utterly exhausted, and it's okay. Just give yourself a break because right now you need it. But the next thing you want to be doing is, second, figure out your schedule. Having a schedule is really important when you're juggling two things at once, like writing in school or writing in work. If you're in college, this is probably going to differ day by day, where you have different classes on different days and you know when you have more time than others, etc. But when you figure out a schedule of when you're going to get up and when you're going to school or work and when you're going to write, it takes away the guesswork, which really is very helpful. The important thing here though is to stick to your schedule. This means if you schedule yourself to write on 2 o'clock every Wednesday, then you need to be there to write at 2 o'clock on every Wednesday. Of course, if you get sick or something or end up with more work than you expected or whatever, you can give yourself a break, but the point is to try to stick to that schedule as much as you can. Because once you go off schedule, then it starts becoming a matter of where you can squeeze things in, and then you start feeling bad for not writing, and really, it's just a mess that you can avoid by keeping to your schedule. Third, figure out how you work best. I very quickly realized that the later in the day it gets, the less energy I have, which is why I changed my sleep schedule from going to bed between 9 and 10 and waking up between 5 and 5:30-ish, which sounds really early and crazy, but it just works well for me because I have more motivation in the morning and more time to just get things done. I wrote a post a while back about changing my schedule and how the whole thing worked for me, and I'll link to that below. But you might not be a morning person, and that's okay. Maybe for you, your best writing time is between 11 p.m. and 2 a.m. You know, that works too. The point is to figure out around what time you are at your most productive. Fourth, do your homework first. Or if you are working and not going to school, do whatever work you have to do at home first. I actually saw this tip in a post written by Julia Byers on thebookcreators.com, which I'll link to below. But this is actually something I've always done and hadn't even thought about, but it is very helpful. With few exceptions, I found that I work best when I get all of my homework out of the way and then treat my writing like a reward. Not only does this extra motivate me to write because now I get to do what I wanted with this reward, which was writing, but then I don't have to worry about also getting my homework done on top of this. So get your homework done first. That way you can treat your writing like a reward and you also get your homework done, which is important. And fifth, take advantage of your weekends and your breaks. The kind of cool thing, I guess, about being busy and having less time to write is when you do have time to write, you really appreciate it a lot more. Weekends and breaks are when most people kind of sit back and chill, but it's also when writers really take advantage of the time to write because we don't always get as much done as we wanted to during school and work hours. So yeah, make the most of the time you have, and weekends and breaks especially can be a very good time to do catch-up work for writing. So that's all I got for today. If you liked what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and comment, and I'll see you guys next week.